Okay, cool. There we go. Just doing all my usual blasts out to social media. Actually posting this to LinkedIn today. I may regret that later. I have some really mixed opinions about LinkedIn. How bad is my delay on my camera today? Seems to be an ongoing problem I need to figure out, because I was editing a video the other day and the video and the audio went out of sync. I need to figure it. It already looks like it's already starting to get out of sync. I'm not sure if because I'm doing 60 frames per second now or just a higher quality, but I gotta figure that out. But I don't drop frames, and the platforms seem to be happy with me, Twitch and YouTube. But make sure everything's kind of set up the way I want it. This is an exciting day today for me because I'm going to be demoing JetBrains Aqua IDE. So pretty stinking stoked about that. We'll kind of talk about what it is, and then we'll go through and open. We'll go and open. Yo, what's up, all the time? Thanks for lurking. I'm going to open an existing Cypress project in TypeScript that I've been working on between kind of VS Code and as I've been demoing Cursor. I'm going to get some big judgment from people, I'm sure, on that if anyone watches this later. But I've been enjoying some of my time with Cursor, some of it not so much. I did watch a video for Theo the other day where he's showing that Microsoft is definitely not just sitting on their hands. They are trying to innovate VS Code because they know Cursor is going to take a lot of those people away. I know you can pay for Cursor. I'm currently using the free version. I'm not sure what comes additionally with the paid version. I am on a demo license of Aqua. Literally, I just installed it and opened it to make sure it would open. That's all I've done so far. So this will be a great experience for everyone, hopefully, to see what it's like to start from scratch. I will say, one thing I found really sus about Aqua is the setup. The setup, at least on Linux, is a little bit sus. So you don't get like a deb file. You have to actually execute a shell script, which again, it was a little sus, but I know I know this is still something new for JetBrains. Again, it just seems like my delay is super bad. I don't know. It just looks that way on my end. Hopefully, I don't want to fiddle around with it. Yeah, it seems. Let me see. That thing you do where you turn your head and then turn it back and see if you can see yourself. It seems like the delay is bad, so I do apologize. But for those that are new, maybe watching this later on YouTube or some other platform, I am Boomer Tester, and like I said, today I'm going to be demoing the JetBrains Aqua IDE. We'll talk about what it is, kind of show you what I had to go through to set it up, which again was a little sus. We'll kind of start with that. We'll show you this file. So you have to unzip the file that they give you, and they give you these installation instructions, which are a little bizarre. At least for a Linux user, this is a little weird. I'm used to getting something I can execute, even if it's like a portable version of it. Where here, I had to put it where I want it to be installed. Not great, but it will be easy to just wipe it away if I don't like it. So, I'll give them that. But yeah, I had to paste it where I wanted it. So, unzip it, paste it where I want it. I put it in my developer folder, which I tend to put repos in. But just needed somewhere to put it I could keep track of. And then I had to launch the aqua.sh file. And execute it again, and it's yelling at me about using it when this is how they told me to use it in the instructions. Again, as far as I know, this is really new to JetBrains, and so this is in the early stages. I'm sure this process will be a little cleaner. I don't know what it's like to be a Windows user or a Mac OS X user for this particular IDE. Maybe it is an easy to use, like executable or whatever. In my case, I had to like unzip it and then run this aqua.sh, and that's how I'm running it currently. So what is what is Aqua? Aqua, again, is a JetBrains IDE. It costs money if you want to use it for any commercial use. So this is not free. So when you think of, right now I'm using Cursor for free. VS Code is, as far as I know, free and going to continue to be free. But it is an IDE designed for test automation. That's the sell. When I originally heard about it, that was the way it was sold, and it is an exciting idea. JetBrains tends to go with this model of you have these like almost platform or framework stack specific IDEs, rather than when you look at something like VS Code or even Cursor, where it's a generalized IDE and you take add-ons and turn it into the IDE you want. Here it's like, here's this prepackaged IDE. You can still, there's still add-ons, no doubt, but here's like this prepackaged IDE that is specifically for your purpose. So that's the case for Aqua. It's designed for test automations, but they say, I haven't used it. They say that they're ready to use out of the box, get straight to testing without having to install and configure lots of plugins. That's good, I suppose. Aqua boasts a unique feature set containing everything a test automation engineer needs on a daily basis. We're going to test that out. Aqua's web inspector works like a built-in browser and allows you to capture any page element without switching to another tool. That's nice. That is nice, and it'll be interesting to play around with that and see how hard it is to get started. There's also a HTTP client for API testing and integration with databases, Docker, and version control. Makes complex tasks easier, minimizes the hassle for even the most challenging tasks. Combination of intelligent code analysis. We'll see if we can get that to work. And they did try to sell me a AI assistant. Like, here, spend $100 for what Cursor gives you for free is what it felt like. I know Copilot costs money, and I think that's the, I believe Copilot is the, is that the Microsoft? But let's Google it so I don't sound like a total dope, but Copilot, oh, it's GitHub's Dodoy. Well, your everyday AI, I think it is actually a Microsoft product. Oh gosh, the lights. Mine eyes. Yeah, okay, so Copilot is a Microsoft product. I'm not a complete idiot. Well, we don't know that, but I was correct in assuming that Copilot was a Microsoft product. I have no experience with Copilot, but I know that's like the preferred AI companion for VS Code, to my understanding. Cursor, like, it's built in. I know there's an open source Cursor now. I may toy around with that later too, but that's not what we're talking about today. But they did offer, and we'll look at pricing really quick too. I think we'll look at pricing before we get into it, and then maybe look again and say, now do we feel like it's worth the money that they're asking? Because again, it's free for non-commercial use. I don't know what that means. I have to look at what I ended up agreeing to see what they mean by that. Oh, thank goodness. So right now it's 50% off for Testers Day. I didn't even know. I'm a tester and I didn't even know it was Testers Day. I'm ashamed. I'm totally ashamed. To unlock the potential of your favorite framework, Selenium, which I've heard people call Selenium. I always call it Selenium. Benefit from rich support for the Selenium ecosystem, Java, Kotlin, and Python. Cypress, my personal preferred tool, but I'm not dead set on it. And Playwright, which is I'm using more often for various clients. Develop and maintain your Playwright tests with advanced code assistance. So Playwright would be the one I think that's a harder sell, because Playwright comes with so much bundled in. I could see from a high level glance, this is probably like the Selenium developer's dream. Anytime you get help with Selenium. Cypress, again, it's got a great test runner. You can do a lot of inspecting while writing a test. It's hot reloading, just like Playwright. Probably less of a hard sell. It'll be interesting to see. I'm going to open up my Cypress test that I've been writing against. I think it's the BlazeMeter site. I am curious. I'm thinking about fixing my camera. I shouldn't do it. Don't get distracted. It's bugging me because when I look at OBS, it looks really delayed. It looks really, really delayed. And again, I think that's because I'm using 14% CPU, not much. I'm at 60 frames per second, no frames drop, everything's hunky-dory, but there's that camera delay. Will I regret I regret goofing around with this. Is it frames until timeout? I'm curious if it's something I have set here. There has to be something here I have set that's causing the audio of the camera to get, well, we'll see if it gets bad. And then I might toy with it. So yeah, these are the three frameworks, which they're pretty much the three biggest frameworks. Selenium, I want Selenium's the driver, not framework. Aqua features. Again, I'll be interested to see this web inspector. We'll definitely get into that. An embedded web inspector generates a unique CSS or XPath locator. Again, Playwright and Cypress kind of have this built in. You can also test them out. So this, again, to me seems more like it's going to really help someone working with Selenium WebDriver. Its active CSS and XPath code completion suggests and highlights a locator for the most important web page element. And Cursor kind of does that. If you've watched other streams of mine, you'll see that in the past. We've used Cursor, and Cursor's kind of creepily kind of known what page I'm looking at, and creepily kind of like I have it with almost no guidance. Because like, oh, here's the selector you want, master. It's like, yeah, slow down, buddy. HTTP client, you can easily create and edit requests in Aqua's built-in HTTP client. It'll be interesting to see what they mean by that, because again, if I want to run this like in CI, is that going to cause any problems if I'm using their built-in, or is the built-in to like do your ad hoc is meant to be like a Postman replacement that allows you to then write your automated test? That would be interesting to see. Probably not going to be messing around with Docker databases right now, test management systems. And then again, the AI assistant they want to charge money for. Test management systems, we have added annotations to support test report tools such as Allure framework, nice, or built-in test framework mechanisms such as Serenity BDD. Oh gosh, BDD again being just forced into my life. Someday I'm gonna take a BDD course, be a real tester. Just I actually started. I kind of kicked the hornet's nest a little bit. I don't want to get us off track too much, and the delay looks super bad to me. You know, I won't know until I look at the recording, unfortunately. You know what I can do, hopefully it doesn't break anything. We'll try this. Sometimes this is what you need to do. Sometimes you gotta go like this. It's gonna screw up my chroma key and do this. Sometimes that looks better already. Literally, it's just switching those two settings back and forth, and it only happens on Linux. This is screen tearing, and then this kind of stuff is always like kicks you in the butt in Linux, and then it seems like it's already diverged. So maybe I shouldn't dork with it. But yeah, I kind of kicked the hornet's nest on X because I mentioned how I'm not a believer in BDD, and it kind of kicked the hornet's nest a little bit. And the gentleman, I really respect the opinion of Dave Farley from Continuous Delivery. He's a big BDD proponent, and in his opinion, we're getting a little off the rails here, but in his opinion, BDD and TDD are the same thing, and I don't agree. At least from how it affects my day-to-day, it's totally different. They're like completely different practices. And again, it could be my perspective of both being limited, but I don't see them as the same thing. I just don't. I don't see them as the same thing at all. But that's okay. You know, as I said in the video the other day, I've only been doing this for like 12 or 13 years. That's not me being sarcastic. There's always going to be someone that has more experience than you, or has a better experience of something than you, or the other person that may have a poor experience, and it's just going to come down to preference then. And I don't want to keep beating the drum about BDD, but it was definitely kicked the hornet's nest there, and I'm okay saying that I'm wrong if I can be proven wrong, in the sense that I want to experience this great BDD project. Okay, so yeah, that's some of their features. Again, this AI assistant. Money please. Money please. And because Cursor's free, it's really hard to justify it. Teams all over the world use JetBrains IDEs. Do they use Aqua? That's the question. Do they use Aqua? Probably not. Not trying to be rude. I think Aqua is probably too green, I would guess. Wix and Visa. So again, they have subscription plans. Now we're getting into pricing. I obviously did the Aqua non-commercial. I would consider this technically non-commercial work, just demoing it, writing tests against a site that is not for a client. $124 a year, not exactly going to break the bank, right? They want you to then pay $200 a year for their AI assistant, and then $24.90 per user per month. So that's interesting. Is it $124.50, then $24.50 additionally, and then $200 a year? This is a little not smart. Maybe it's like $100, and they're including this $124. And normally it's $249.99, or $249, excuse me. Which, yikes. If you want to purchase Aqua as an individual customer, it's available as part of all products pack in the store. Activate with the JetBrains account, which I have and to sign up for. It was a little painful just to download this too and just get a key. I don't know. I just feel like when there's so much friction to get into something like this, you're kind of discouraging people to try it out. It wasn't too bad, and it wasn't as bad as I was trying to use. I don't remember if it was Browser Stacks, because Joe Calantonio was suggesting the Node of low-code solution, and they didn't have an install for Linux. It's like, okay, I can't demo it. I have a MacBook Pro, but that's my work MacBook. I can't use it for this sort of stuff. I'm on Pop OS, bro. All products pack. Yay. $779. You gotta be a serious, and then you're dropping another $200. It's almost $1,000. There better be some dang good tools. You get everything. You get WebStorm, Rust Rover. Yeah, I don't ReSharper, C++ ReSharper. I don't know if this model is going to keep working, especially with things like Cursor and now the open source Cursor. Is this really going to keep working? I could be wrong. I feel like we're getting away from this. There's even a Go. Interesting. There's a lot that I didn't even know existed. It's just been a while since I've looked at JetBrains products. But yeah, you got the. Y'all must be rich. Y'all must be rich, because that's a lot of overhead for me. Running my own business, that'd be like, dang, I could spend that money in other places for my business, and use VS Code or Cursor, the free version of Cursor. Just my 2 cents. I'm hoping to be proven wrong. I'm hoping like this Aqua just blows my mind. My socks shoot right off my feet, and I'm floored. So yeah, that's kind of what they've got on their page. Interesting that it's 50% off. I didn't know it was Testers Day. Maybe that's what I should have put on the video. It's Testers Day. Woo! But yeah, using the free license, definitely not going to use AI. They requires JetBrains account. I had to do that. So FYI, if you're thinking of trying this out, you're going to get into their sales funnel. This is like the most typical lead magnet, but they actually have a real product. So I'm not beefing. They want to get you in that sales funnel, of course. That's what I would want to do. If I was JetBrains, you want to use our free IDE and try it out, you're gonna get in our sales funnel. You're gonna be a lead, and our lead magnet's gonna get you. Yo, what's up, Terrace? I'm sorry, I'm gonna just murder Mazepa. Welcome. We're looking at the Aqua IDE from JetBrains. We're going to be demoing it today, and I'm just kind of going over some of the features, some of the stuff from their site. So let's jump into Aqua. I have it installed, I have it running. Again, the goal is to eventually open an existing Cypress project that I wrote, mixed VS Code and Cursor, kind of bouncing back and forth as I demoed Cursor out. I feel like we should take the quick onboarding tour, don't you? I feel like we should do this. Let's get onboarded. I probably want to kill my tunes if we jump into this. Watch on YouTube, like let's do this. Let's do the full experience, and then we're gonna try to open my existing Cypress project in TypeScript with it and see if it gives us anything special. Let's get the full experience here. So yeah, let's do this. Let's do this, man. Yeah. Let's kill my tunes. Let's get the full-blown onboarding experience, about 15 minutes.
In this onboarding tour, we will take a look at...
Sorry, well, let's leave the closed caption on. You know what? It's going to help folks that maybe, maybe it's a little easier to just read. I actually prefer to leave captions on, but I was thinking it might be annoying to some people, but let's go for it. So, 15-minute video. I might stop a few times and kind of talk about maybe, my opinion, if anything kind of sticks out to me. Plus, just to avoid get copyright struck on YouTube, because this is streaming on YouTube as well. But yeah, let's party. We're gonna go through this whole process as if we were we are new, but I almost never watch stuff like this. That's why it's funny to me. But we're gonna watch it today and see like what the experience is gonna be like for anyone else that wants to try this out.
The main features of Aqua IDE. When you first launch Aqua, you are greeted by the welcome screen. Here you can decide if you want to create a new project, open an existing one, or connect to a remote repository. If you want to open an existing project, you need to navigate to the folder that contains it.
Ah, they're using Cypress as well. Oh, serendipitous.
After you've selected your project, Aqua will import and analyze it. If some dependencies are missing, the IDE will prompt you to install them, and once that's done, you can start working with your tests.
Oh, that's pretty cool. Is that typical of like VS Code? I'm trying to think. I think you could like ask Cursor to do that. Like, Cursor, I'm missing dependencies. Fix it. That's kind of neat. I think especially, I don't want to stereotype anyone. Generally, a lot of times, your QA engineers and your SDETs are a lot of times self-taught when it comes to engineering and development, but we're not always as comfortable in like the command line. I started in development, so I'm more comfortable. I'm actually most comfortable in command line, like when it comes to source control, when it comes to just general getting things done. I'm almost always going to go to my terminal, but not everyone. Some people start out as QA engineers. Well, they start as QA analysts a lot of times, with a generic, so they're manual tester SMEs, and then they learn coding either because it becomes something that the CTO or CIO or their manager encourages them to do, like learn automation. It's going to add to your skills, and it is a great skill. Or they're trying to just skill up in general to have more opportunity. Or like me, it was a survival mechanism. But so I think things like that's going to smooth and streamline those kind of experiences. Maybe for someone who's a little less technical, I think is always great. So I'm going to say, generally, we'll give this a thumbs up from that standpoint. I think that's good.
If your project is stored in a remote repository, Aqua allows you to quickly clone it by providing a web URL to one of the supported version control systems.
I tend to not use these. Again, I'd rather just use Git command line. I'll use interactive rebases in tools like this, like IDEs, because I'm kind of, I'm going to be honest, I'm always not comfortable with like interactive rebases. I had a job in the past, a contract 1099 job where I had to do a lot of rebasing and a lot of like squashing, and it was always nice to kind of pull source control and be like, source control, help me. Or even VS Code has like the interactive rebasing. But when it comes to like getting my project day-to-day work commits, adding, I'll always do that command line personally. I'm just why I'm called a boomer tester. I'm called boomer tester for a reason, and that's because I'm out of date, out of fashion, and not very cool. So yeah, that's just kind of. Oh, it says am I not online on Twitch? It says I'm offline, but then it says I'm live. What's the truth? I just had a moment of freak out. It's like, am I talking to myself? Oh, I'm live. You Twitch, you liar. Lies. You lie. My bitrate's healthy. It's happy with me. Just my OBS is not happy with me. I really want to figure that out. Maybe I need to get a capture card. Get a capture card and just put my GoPro up here. It might be what I have to do, and I'll get better camera quality anyways. But anywho, let's get back to business.
As an alternative, you can log into your version control system account and select the repository that you want to clone.
Again, I like that. I like that idea. You're gonna smooth the friction. If you're not comfortable, it's like the person uses HTTP to clone a repo to SSH. You're a little intimidated to have to mess around with your SSH keys. It's nice to lower the friction. It's always nice to lower that, and that's what these kind of options do. Just not things that I use. I don't know what it is. I don't like my peanut butter mixing with my chocolate. I want my Git mixing with my IDE. I like that it knows and it's aware and it can see the .git directory and files. But beyond that, it's like, and I like VS Code. I think almost all the others. I love the fact that they'll light up, the files will light up green or yellow if they're new, and then darken. They'll darken it if it's an ignored file, just to know, like, okay, good that Git knows that I don't want this file tracked, or excuse me, that the IDE is aware of that, Git's aware of it. And it's just a nice visual thing to go like, okay, I'm not gonna end up committing this file. I don't want to commit like a .env file or whatever.
Finally, you can create a new project using Aqua's intuitive project configurator.
I almost feel
with
like
its
we should
support
use
for
that
popular.
too. I feel like we should create a new project just for the sake of it to see. I don't think it'll be a true demo if we don't create something new as well from scratch and just see what it gives us. Like if we tell, especially like, I think Cypress would be the most interesting. Cypress comes baked in with so much boilerplate when you start a new project to see what they do. If they just literally give you, it'll be just interesting to see what that process. So we should probably do that as well.
Test automation frameworks such as Selenium, Cypress, and Playwright, as well as a variety of programming languages and tools, Aqua allows you to configure the project according to your needs.
See, no, he called it Selenium. I'm pretty sure. I don't know what's wrong with me. I've always called it Selenium, and then I did a contract in the past where the client kept saying Selenium, and I felt like, have I been saying it wrong for like 12, 13 years? I legitimately had like imposter syndrome. If I've been saying Selenium like wrong, I should be saying Selenium. Like Selena Gomez. I don't know if any of you have looked up the word selenium on Google. Always it's gonna like try to, the predictive text is gonna be like, oh, you mean Selena Gomez? Like, no, I want Selenium. I'm not interested in Selena Gomez, the pop star. Hey, I'm a test automation engineer. Clearly listen to underground hip hop and I don't know what what's like cool fringe music. Anyways.
Before creating your project, you can also specify.
I think we just saw there you can like initialize it with a Git repository. That's pretty cool. Create Git repository, so that's your local. And then I'm guessing then you're gonna have to push and set the remote origin for it and all that stuff. That's typical.
Before creating your project, you can also specify what dependencies you want to install. As you can see, Aqua offers a quick and intuitive way to start working with your project. Once you've accessed your project, you are taken to the IDE's main window. Aqua's interface consists of many components, but you'll do most of your work in the code editor and various tool windows. Before proceeding to the main interface elements, let's take a look at the widgets located in the main window header. The project widget shows the current project's name and allows you to switch between recently opened projects, create new projects, and open existing ones. The VCS widget shows the current branch, allows you to switch to other branches, and provides the most popular VCS actions like update project, commit, and push.
What about fetch and pull? Or get status, my favorite one. They even know how to get. Those are the most popular. You're gonna commit and you're gonna push and you're gonna pull. I'm just the weirdo. I always do get status. Just have it. I used to, when I was a consultant previously for 2 years, and I would teach various technical skills so that QA analysts could become start contributing to test automation. I'm gonna try to bounce my camera again, see if that helps. I'm hoping this helps. The delay is getting bad again, it looks like. But one thing I used to do is I would teach source control, mostly Git. I mean, probably they have Subversion here. I'm surprised. But I would teach, non-technical people how to use Git, and one of the things I would always really push, like, Git status is your best friend. Git status will literally tell you, it'll suggest commands for you. It's great. And so that was always the command I'd push. Just if you're in doubt, Git status. Git status, Git status. What's the status of this repo? What do you have that's staged to commit, and what don't you have that's not staged commit? You have new files, all that kind of stuff, I think, comes with a Git status, and I believe it'll also suggest command.
The Run widget allows you to start run and debug configurations or select other configurations to run.
Nice.
It also lets you edit, pin, or delete configurations. Now, let's continue with tool windows.
And I feel like, I'm not trying to be contrarian, I feel like so far I haven't seen anything that, like a VS Code gives you. I think most of this stuff is going to pretty much, so we're hoping, especially since they're charging, a decent amount of dough, like $200 plus US dollars. And then if you throw in like AI coding assistant, you're in the 3 to 400 range. Again, I'm not compared to like a Cursor where you get that for free. You get VS Code with an AI assistant packed in for now for free. Really, there needs to be something that differentiates.
Tool windows provide functionality that supplements code editing. There are plenty of tool windows, each one intended to perform a specific set of actions. By default, tool windows are docked to the sides and bottom of the main window. For example, the project tool window shows you the structure of the project and allows you to perform various tasks such as creating new files, opening files in the editor, and so on. Other tool windows may let you work with a version control system, use the terminal, run or debug your code, and much more. Let's move on to the area you will be interacting with the most, the code editor.
That's presumptuous, isn't it? You assuming I'm going to write code with this IDE? Very presumptuous.
It is used to read, write, and explore the source code. The editor has a couple of functional elements that will assist you during your work. The gutter, for example, shows line numbers, annotations, and context-dependent action icons. From the gutter, you can run or debug your code, modify run configurations, or set breakpoints. The tabs at the top of the editor represent open files and allow you to quickly switch between them. The last functional element of the editor is a scroll bar. In addition to its main function, it also shows errors, warnings, and suggestions in the current file.
Pretty much all like most IDEs in VS Code. I shouldn't have laughed. I'm sorry. It's just acting like the scroll bar is a feature. It's kind of like, well, how else? Like in the most basic text editor. I don't know why I laughed. I understand. They're trying to break this down. Again, imagine you're completely new to test automation. You've been doing manual testing all your career, and now you're learning to write automated tests, and you've never opened an IDE. And so you're like, is it just like a text editor? And this is good for them. I shouldn't laugh. Sorry. This just happened. We just got a dumb sense of humor. Like,
you can click the stripe that represents a problem to quickly navigate to the line where the issue is located and fix it. Now that we've reviewed the editor, we will briefly take a look at the navigation and status bars located at the bottom of the main window.
Uh-oh, and our closed caption might be blocking that, so sorry. It's going to go away.
A quick alternative to the project tool window, the navigation bar allows you to navigate the structure of your project and open.
Did I just see Apple commands? Did I just see control?
To take a look at your project structure, use the Command 1 shortcut on Mac or Alt 1 on Windows.
And what about Linux? What am I supposed to press? I'm offended. I am offended and hurt and saddened. How dare you assume that I'm on Windows or OS X? I'm really offended by this.
Open the project tool window, which you can use to navigate through the project and manage files. There are also similar shortcuts that open other tool windows. When
We'll have to
working
try
in
to
the
play with
editor,
those.
Aqua can provide quick fixes for errors and warnings, code improvements, or shortcuts to specific actions. To review these options, place the caret where you want to see the list of suggestions and press Option Enter on Mac or Alt Enter on Windows.
I'm guessing it'll be Alt Enter on Pop! OS / Ubuntu, hopefully. It's usually the Windows commands from what I remember. And on a lot of these.
Aqua has shortcuts for almost any action. The ones we reviewed are the basic hotkeys that will help you get started with Aqua. The Web Inspector is a handy tool for writing and maintaining UI tests. It includes an embedded browser that displays the page structure and helps generate unique CSS or XPath locators for elements you select on the web page.
And this is something I'm really interested in trying out. Because this now starts to seem like a differentiating, at least in regard when you compare to like VS Code or Cursor. In the case of really now, when it comes into built-in browsers, we're talking about framework where, or at least inspectors. With Cypress, you have the Electron browser. With Playwright, you have like a built-in, I think they have a built-in Chromium, I think. But essentially, you have a way to inspect web pages, where this is now, you don't have to necessarily, I think that the idea behind this is you don't have to fire those up necessarily, that you can just open up the inspector. So we're definitely going to play around with this.
The Web Inspector is extremely easy to use. Just open the web page, switch to the selection mode, and pick the desired element. Aqua will suggest the most suitable CSS or XPath locator to uniquely identify the selected element. If the suggested option doesn't work for you, you can choose from a list of alternative locators or compose your own with instant feedback.
See, now Cypress lets you test them. It'll say if you have a match. So this says it has 1 match and 4 variants. I wonder if you can input, kind of like Cypress lets you do, you can input a selector, and then it'll tell you if it finds, and it shows you where it finds it on the page. I wonder if you can go the other direction. It'll be interesting to see. They're not showing it, but...
The composed or generated locator can then be added to your code using the add element to code action or copied manually.
Nice.
The add element to code action will generate a source code expression that captures the selected element corresponding to the supported language and framework. The Web Inspector indicates if the selected element is not in the root frame. In this case, Aqua will generate the frame switching code for you if possible. Another issue addressed by the Web Inspector is locator validation. When working with tests, you want to be sure that the specified locators in the source code are valid and point to the correct element on the web page. Aqua evaluates the locators from your code in the Web Inspector and displays the number of matches next to them. A locator may require your attention if multiple or 0 matches are indicated.
That's actually pretty cool. I actually like that. It's interesting.
To verify that the locator points to the correct element, click the icon next to it. This opens the Web Inspector and highlights the corresponding element on the web page. The Web Inspector is an extremely convenient tool that helps you write reliable tests. Similar to other JetBrains IDEs, Aqua has powerful code completion and refactoring capabilities. Refactoring features can help you improve the structure of your code. For example, the introduce variable refactoring can be invoked to replace a static value used in your test with a variable. Another example is the rename refactoring, which can be used to change the names of methods, classes, variables, files, directories, and so on.
And that's pretty like table stakes boilerplate for most IDEs. I mean, it's cool. It's cool they're mentioning it. It's not like a differentiator in my opinion. My 2 cents. This music though, it's giving me really strong. This is such a bizarre tangent. If you've ever played the Hot Shots games, so the Hot Shot games is a golfing game, but it's sort of hyper realistic golfing. I used to play the heck out of those games, but the music was always like, is this style of music, kind of like the loungy, slightly jazzy, like loungy, um, kind of jazzy music. So I'm getting like serious Hot Shots golf vibe here from this.
When it comes to writing code, Aqua helps you complete the names of classes, methods, keywords, and so on. Just start typing and select the most appropriate suggestions that appear in the pop-up. Code completion also works for CSS and XPath locators, suggesting values from the web page opened in the Web Inspector. All these features can significantly improve your test writing experience, promoting efficiency and code quality. When testing an API, you are typically required to compose HTTP requests that interact with the API endpoints and verify the expected behavior.
Correct.
Aqua allows you to create and execute HTTP, WebSocket, or gRPC requests directly in the code editor. All you have to do is to create an HTTP request file. The request itself can be imported from a Postman collection or converted from a CURL command. When importing from Postman, you can also attach an environment file containing variables used in the requests.
That's pretty powerful. So I had a feeling they might integrate with Postman. I had a strong feeling they might tie those together. So that's pretty neat, because that is pretty much the de facto sort of spot checking. I know Postman is technically supposed to be for building APIs, but majority of people I know that use it, they use it for spot checking the existing API work that they're doing.
To convert a CURL command to an HTTP request, simply copy the CURL command to the clipboard and paste it in the code editor. Aqua will automatically convert it to the HTTP request. Alternatively, you can add a request template and modify it according to your needs.
Again, this feels, there's already solutions in Playwright and Cypress for HTTP requests. This feels like something that the Selenium user would be like, what? This is magic. Because they'd have to find another platform. Like if they're in Java, they're going to need Rest Assured, probably. If they're in C#.NET, Rest Sharp, they're in JavaScript, Frisbee.js, probably more. So yeah, if you're the Selenium person, this is like really powerful to you. If you're Playwright and Cypress, you've kind of already got tools, and I wouldn't want to veer outside of the tools at hand, honestly, because they work so well together. But just something we're thinking about here. This seems weird to use if you're in those two frameworks.
Code completion will help you with that. Once the request is written, you can execute it and review the received response, which Aqua automatically saves into a separate file. Aqua also allows you to add dynamic assertions to your requests. You can write JavaScript code that will validate data contained in the response you receive.
So it's Postman. Did they just put Postman into their IDE and they just didn't want to say it? I wonder if that's how this is working, because that's pretty much how Postman, in fact, that code, we go back and look at that code. Let's see here. Will they let us see it again? Want to see your code. Okay. Client.test, client.assert. How do the Postman, it's been a little while, honestly, since I've written them. Postman.test. I think they just put Postman in their IDE and didn't want to tell anybody. PM.response to have, let me see here. Client.assert, it's a little, so the assertions are written a little differently. You can have vars because you're writing JavaScript, but I think you can write, I think this is this technically, it used to be Groovy, I think. I accept all your cookies. Yum, 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 yum. Does this say, yeah, in JavaScript, in the post response tab. Validate responses. I mean, here you're writing an actual function. Yeah, you're writing an actual function there. You are here too, and you're able to give it a name. I mean, I know it's just JavaScript, but it's just a little sus. But it's cool. It's cool. I'm not calling JetBrains out. I'm not calling them out here. I'm just saying it looks awfully similar, but the assertion library looks different. I was using expect to have, it almost looks like Mocha and Chai, I'm guessing. And then here, dot assert. Who uses dot assert? Is that Mocha and Chai? Does that use dot assert as well? We're going to get way off in the weeds. I shouldn't do this. The to have, this is just a straight up assert. To be, so it's, again, it seems very Mocha and Chai to me. For those that aren't aware, sorry. We'll do the Chai. For those not aware of what I'm talking about, what do you mean Mocha and Chai? So the Chai assertion library, BDD, TDD assertion library is what they say, but it gets used by Cypress, which you don't have to do. So like you get this should be, to be. Yeah, I mean, I'm pretty sure that's what Postman's using is Mocha and Chai. To be, yeah. I mean, you expect that thing to be something type of equal. Though this is also looking like it with the assert. So I wonder if they're both just using the Chai assertion library. That's what it looks like to me. Nothing wrong with that. This is like, I think it's pretty much like the de facto assertion library for Node. So this is the one I'm most familiar with. Nothing wrong with that. But I have a feeling that's what they're using here. Because you're writing JavaScript, of course you're going to use the most trusted assertion library out there. Should expect an assert. Yeah, so they're using the assert flavor of that. I wonder if you can use other Chai assertions.
All this makes the HTTP client a powerful tool for API testing. Aqua's support of the database management functionality allows you to establish a connection to virtually any database, giving you the ability to maintain and interact with the data it holds. You can start working with a database by creating and configuring a data source. Once it's configured, you can perform your regular database routines, managing tables, reviewing and modifying data, running SQL scripts, and so on. When it comes to tables and data, Aqua offers a convenient alternative to writing SQL queries. You can manage tables through Aqua's UI. This includes the ability to add and delete columns and rows, populate the tables with data, apply filters for efficient table navigation, and other useful features.
This is actually pretty cool as well. I'm trying to think if I've seen, most of the time, most people use like, BeaverDB or SQL Studio or something. So again, it's nice that it's kind of built into the IDE. This is sort of nice.
To run SQL queries, use the query console. Aqua will help you compose and execute the statements. Database management support simplifies the process of working with test data and preparing multiple test environments. If your workflow involves running tests in isolated environments, Aqua can help you with that. With Docker integration, Aqua provides assistance for creating Docker images, running Docker containers, managing Docker Compose applications, using public and private Docker registries, and much more.
Take a shot every time he says Docker. You could say Docker once and then say containers and repositories. I think we know what you're talking about. It's kind of funny. And we've got a bot yet again. One of those silly bots. But yeah, Docker? Docker.
A connection to Docker can be established in the Services tool window. Once set up, you can start performing all Docker-related actions directly from the IDE. This includes pulling and pushing images, creating and running containers, and managing their execution.
In Docker management, there's a few plugins in VS Code that are pretty nice that I've used in the past. So I'm not trying to be contrarian, but just so people are aware that you're paying for this IDE, you're getting VS Code for free, and then downloading the right plugin to get it to do a lot of these things. There may even be a web inspector for VS Code that I need to start using. I don't know. But it is nice that it comes built in. Again, for that person who's not wanting to spend the time or where they could spend the time, this is great that it's built in.
Aqua can also help you create your own images. Just add a Docker file and configure it according to your needs. Integration with Docker greatly improves your ability to work with multiple testing environments.
Now that would be something that would be amazing if they had like a wizard for Docker containers. Because when it's, if you're like me, it's been a while, you haven't used Docker, and then I'm on a client job and I have to like get my brain wrapped around setting up Docker from scratch. It's not being provided to me like the containers. I always have to go back to the documentation. Just being honest, I'm a human. And it'd be really cool to like have a wizard. Like, oh, what kind of container are you trying to create? Do you need a database? Do you need the database to talk to this one? Like that would be incredible. Like that would be such a big differentiator in my opinion. With limited experience with the Docker interface plugins for VS Code and similar IDEs, it'd be really cool to have something that just is a whiz, a whiz, and sets it up for you.
When working on a project, it is essential to track, organize, and control source code changes. Aqua makes this easy by integrating with a variety of version control systems, allowing you to perform VCS-related operations directly from the IDE. If your current project is not shared in a VCS, but you want to give version control a try, you can enable the integration with your chosen version control system at any time. For example, if you want to share your project on GitHub, all you have to do is log into your account and Aqua will handle the rest.
That's really nice. And I'm not sure how different that is than the other IDEs. Because, again, personally for me, I always tend to do everything in the terminal in regards to Git, except for interactive rebases. It's a lot of times where I wuss out. Those I have rebased and taken care of merge conflicts from command line and from like the text editor, and just looked at where the head is and things like that. If it's simple enough. But I just always get paranoid. I'm gonna, especially if it's really complicated merge. I'm working with a lot of other people in the same repo and we're touching a lot of the same files. I almost always use that interactive rebase just in case. But this is nice that it, again, it's really nice that it's all there. Just bouncing my camera, hoping it helps. Hoping it helps with that terrible, terrible delay.
As a result, a new repository will be created for your project on GitHub.
Sweet.
Integration of a version control system helps you to collaborate with your team members and track the changes you made to your project. We hope that this onboarding tour helped you get a better sense of Aqua's capabilities. If you want to get more information about Aqua's features, you can refer to our documentation. Follow us on Twitter to get the latest Aqua news and updates. Thank you for watching.
Oh, thank you. That was great. So I'm gonna do a bio break, then we're gonna come back and actually demo Aqua. we've gotten the full tour. Again, I feel like I should create a new project to get that experience. I want to see what it provides me with, and then I want to open the existing one. We'll just kind of toy around, and hopefully I'll hit all the features. I'll try to remember to hit everything. But I'm gonna do a bio break really quick. Too much coffee. Must bio break. But that's what we'll do when we come back. And we'll get this, let's see, we can get this stuff. That was good. That's good stuff. I like that. I usually don't watch those. I'm usually very averse from watching like the tutorials and walkthroughs. So it's like, let me just get my hands on it. But wanted to give it a chance, and it was really nice. So but I will be back in just a second. I'm gonna do a bio break, and then we're gonna actually get our hands onto Aqua and see what it can do for us, and kind of see what we can explore and do some comparison compared to say like a Visual Studio Code or a Cursor. But go back into this a second. Okay, and we're back. So we went through the onboarding tour. We kind of looked at JetBrains main page for Aqua. Now we're actually going to get into demoing Aqua proper. The first thing I'd like to do is set up a project. We're going to do a project with a Cypress project, if I could talk. And for some reason, the electrolytes I'm taking, they're like these little pills. They cause me to get like the worst, like kind of, it's just TMI here, but just kind of like the worst, just like there's bubbles. I need to burp. Really terrible. So I apologize. I keep trying to like, I don't know what it is today. It's being especially bad. Not as bad as my camera delay, which we'll bounce it again. Let's see if that helps. Okay, camera bounced. Hopefully that helps a little bit. Yeah, These electrolytes are just like, it's just not, because I'm doing intermittent fasting and it's just not sitting well with me. So we'll do a new project. We'll try to create a Cypress project from scratch and maybe try to write a couple of tests with it, and then we'll open an existing project and try to toy. I am interested though in this plugins part. So key promoter, boot camp for your hands, helps you learn essential shortcuts. Oh, okay, cool. So is this going to kind of teach us the JetBrains way? Easy way to learn how to replace tedious mouse work with keyboard keys and help to transition to a faster mouse-free development. Key promoter Xtool window shows you a hit list of the mouse action used most and directly provides you with a shortcut you can use instead. That's actually kind of cool. I kind of like that. If key promoter helps you save time because they're supporting me, okay. I need to be better about that kind of stuff. Like, terrible about going back to people who've done great things and promoting them or supporting them. I'm a bad man. That actually sounds kind of cool. I don't know if we want to mess with it now. We're trying to get more pure experience. Yes, dark name, please. Region Americas. Oh no, I don't. It requires me to restart. No. Key map. Okay, so they know that it. Yeah, no. Alright, so none of this stuff. Let's start a new project. Let's try it. Let's go. Let's go, let's go. New project. And it has an Aqua projects directory. Sure, we'll roll with it. I'm not super... we're gonna write it against the blaze meter, right? Pretty sure it's the demo. Blaze demo, here we go. No, this isn't it. Oh, fiddlesticks. Where is it? Where's their... Trying to remember how to get to their site. Their testing site. Oh, where is it? I feel like such a fool. Is it Blaze? Is Demo Blaze? Is Demo Blaze? I'm so scared to this. Here we go. Okay, this is the site we're going to use. So this is going to be our Cypress. We'll call it yeah. Build system. Oh boy. And do I need the Oracle JDK? I don't think I need a JDK, do I? The Oracle Open. I don't think I need it. Oh, for product structure. I don't use a lot of JetBrains products, so this is where I'm like, huh? What? What you say? Because I want to do Cypress. Oh, it's the DOI. I've got Java selected. We want Cypress. I'm like, why is it asking me these things? I need to be smarter. I'm not a smart boy sometimes. Here we go. Here we go. There. This is so okay. But yeah, this is our Aqua. Demo Blaze. We're gonna leave it in there. Node interpreter, package manager, add code example code. Sure. Configure end-to-end test. Configure component test. That's kind of nice. Again, I think they're gonna bake some extra stuff in the pie possibly in comparison to just doing this command line, but we'll see. Go, my pretties. Apologies, it opened up over here. We'll have to drag it back over. We'll grab this. We don't feel silly when we're trying to figure out. So they're definitely gonna push. Looks like they're pushing the AI and assistant from JetBrains. No thanks. It's okay, I don't blame them. This is how we get to its database. Let's look at that web inspector. Again, we're gonna we're going to, I look down because I'm on a MacBook all day and then I get out of Pop OS and the command versus control always gets me. Alright, we've got this. indicators evaluator. Nice, 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 very nice. Maybe one thing notice here, you're going to have to give up a lot of real estate to it so that it's not in like this responsive mobile mode if you assume you're going to be testing for a lot of desktop users. So that's going to be a little tricky. I wonder if there's we've got clear browser cookies. Okay, enable pop-up windows, show mobile version. Well, let's play around with that. Open developer tools. That's nice. Okay, so you get your typical developer tools. I wonder what browser this is. Dock pinned, dock unpinned, undock float. Okay, and you can full on remove it. Did I see a speed setting? Or speed search? Just say that's pretty cool. This is developer tools, which opens in a separate JCEF. What is JCEF? What is that? Java Chromium Embedded Framework. Ah, so they're using Chromium, like everyone else. So it's an IntelliJ platform plugin. So could you add the JCEF to, say, Visual Studio Code? Okay. Java Chromium Embedded Framework, a simple framework for embedding Chromium-based browsers and other applications using the Java programming language. Java. Java alert. Wii U. But this is interesting. Chromium Embedded Framework. I'm not aware of this. I feel like I'm out of the loop. How up to date is it? Yeah, this has been updated. Some of this is pretty old, 9 years ago, but some of it a couple months ago. Looks like a fairly active contribution community. This is interesting. Building JCEF project is an extension of the Chromium Embedded Framework project hosted here. Development branch attracts most recent the F3 release branch. JCEF source code can you tell? Okay, helping out. Oh, this is cool. I get a little nervous when I find out it's written in Java. I just have some battle scars from my past, but just me. Okay, I just curious, like, well, what do you mean JCEF tools, dev tools? So that's what that is. This is like a Java-based, which, considering JetBrains, wow, considering that JetBrains, from my understanding, from my recollection, it was first introduced to me as a Java development alternative to NetBeans. I believe it was NetBeans. I was not aware. Pretty sure it's NetBeans. Wow, NetBeans is still around. I love it. The Apache NetBeans IDE still here. Awesome. This is like what I very first learned on. This is what I very first learned on. So IntelliJ was like introduced to me, and JetBrains products was introduced to me in my first real software job as like the alternative to the NetBeans. They were transitioning over a lot of developers from NetBeans to the IntelliJ. It was like the way to go if you're in Java development. I'm trying to get this white light out of my face, but still saturating my green screen. There we go. A little more comfortable. I love that it's still around. This makes me so happy. This is like a blast from the past. I mean, who knows how old version 22 is. I wish they had like the repo so I could look at what's Apache is the one that owns this. Cool. And Oracle. Oh, all right. This is neat. We're learning so much. Well, I'm learning so much. Like, again, working at a former Java place brings back a lot of fond memories. Pardon me while I bounce my camera again, hoping that it... So yeah, we got our little dev tools popped out. So again, we want to look at network tab, which is common for me. Fetch XHR. This other stuff I'm guessing is going to be taken care of by this evaluator, but it's a nice add-on. Excuse me, my electrolytes are not dealing. I'm not dealing well with my electrolytes. So let's look at what it generated for us. it's looking like pretty typical. So just clicking on it's not going to open it. You got to double click. Interesting, worth noting. Got our package JSON. Nothing magical or surprising in here. TypeScript's installed, which is nice. You know, again, it's something you have to do yourself normally. Node modules. Get this .idea file that you're working with IntelliJ products. And excuse me, oh my gosh, JetBrains. You're gonna have this .idea file. My understanding is you don't want to commit that to source. Anything special? It looks like you've got all your common boilerplate from. Interesting. So okay, they didn't wipe this out. It's just interesting how they make this collapsible. I'm trying to remember if this is collapsible in VS Code. That's interesting. That's something that stuck out to me. You got your example. I swear in VS Code you just click and they pop up. I feel like I'm doing an extra click. This all comes with Cypress, a new Cypress instance or project by default. So nothing special here except for the IDE file, and they installed TypeScript for us, which is nice. That stuff I usually do by hand in the command line. I'll do npm install save dev. Are these things saved as dev? Curious. Yeah, alright, yeah, they do what I would do, which is dev dependencies. That's pretty cool. It gets rid of like the reference to root or the oh my gosh. You know what I'm saying, where it'll, you know, where's the like injection point for the node project? Would you usually have to delete yourself? Let's see if there's anything else. Yeah, this looks pretty boilerplate, like what comes with it, except for the IDE file, and then installing TypeScript, which is kind of nice. Now, I don't get a play button. So, but I think that's typical too. How would let's say I wanted to fire up Cypress for the first time. Am I going to have to edit a config? So I'm going to need to understand. I almost never do run config for my Cypress stuff, to be honest. Almost always it's like npx cypress open. Here's your environment file. Going to be off in a private note to hide any sensitive data because I don't want to commit it to source. So no run configurations. How would we get this started? We add new Groovy Protractor. Where's this? Does it have a Cypress one? Okay, I want to run my. Little weird. They don't include this by default. All test. Okay, I'm down. Do I have to name a configuration file? I shouldn't have to. It should be default. Cypress config. Node options. I don't think I need anything else. Cypress options. -Q. What's that for Cypress? I don't remember. I swear I know how to do this. Yeah, what's -Q do? Yeah, what does -Q do, bro? It's interesting. I don't know what that does. I've been using Cypress for quite a while and I don't know what that's for, and I could just be forgetting. Environment variables, we won't mess with that. Test file before launch. Unspecified test file. Isn't this, do I have to specify a test file? Can I just say grab the whole directory? No such test file. Interesting. This is getting. If I okay, the plot thickens here. That's why I don't. I probably should get better at creating run configurations, but this is where I'm definitely outside, and I feel like I'm not getting tons of guidance from the tool. Activate tool window. Not sure about that. Yeah, it's claiming I don't have a test. Do I have to point at one test file? Are you for real? What about this? Keeps telling me no such test file. So far, not a good start. Do I need to point at a test file? Like this? I can't just say grab everybody in that directory? Like, what if I just say end to end, like star? Can I do like that? Ugh. Well, let's try this. I want everything in end to end to run. But if I want the whole kit and caboodle. Let's try it. And we hit run. What happened? Yeah, continue anyway. That's fun. But now it seems to be running them. DevTools listening on. There's some funky stuff. Okay. I mean, that wasn't too painful and it appears to be running. I'll be interested to open my existing tests and do that. I feel like I want to blow away all this boilerplate though and try to write some off tests for this. Okay, it's running all the boilerplate tests that it came with. There's a lot of boilerplate tests, goodness gracious. I forgot how many examples it comes with. So now it's getting into what? It's getting into... How far is it? I don't want to run all of these. I kind of forgot there were so many. I almost never use the boilerplate. So spy stubs and clock. Do they mean mock? Stubs and clocks. Okay. Yeah, the web inspector is cool. Can we stop this? Okay. Interesting. Why has it got the little X? Because it failed or it thinks my configuration's bad? I don't know why it's yelling at me about a test file. But it seems to work. Or as a project file. Being less recently acquainted with JetBrains, I'm sure that means something to a JetBrains person, probably. But not to me. Okay, well, this kind of works. That was kind of neat. I want to blow away this boilerplate though, and we can try to write some. I swear, it's a single click. Interesting, they put so much commenting to kind of guide you. Okay, let's try to do like a simple auth test, like we have, and then we'll open. But we'll see how far this gets us and how much guidance. I want to get rid of all this boilerplate. There's a bunch of noise. Profile, users. These must be from the boilerplate test. Let's blow these away. That actually, going like that, caused it to, that was interesting to load for a second. We'll delete those stuff. Yes, I want to delete those two directly. Thank you, sir. We'll get rid of these as well. Do they have any commands? No, we already looked at this. Okay. This feels very, this is reminding me of my Java days. Feels very JetBrains-ish. JetBrains-like. It's like a Souls-like. This is a JetBrains-like. It feels that way. There's a certain feel to their IDEs. And a certain look. So we're gonna want the new directory. We'll call this one UI. And we'll do a new file. Oh gosh, what's the... I forgot what the syntax for the file is. Like spec.sci. I shouldn't have deleted everything. Oh man. We're gonna have to go. We're gonna have to be 30 tweeters to look it up. Cypress TypeScript. I know it's gonna yell at me. What was it again? It was spec. So it's spec name, right? .xi.ts, isn't that it? I'm almost certain. They have another example just in case I'm off my rocker. And it'd be in our TS config, right? I'm pretty sure. I'm pretty sure it's I'm gonna cheat and look at my existing service tests. I have a really bad sinus headache. That's my excuse. I'm just looking at this going like, brain. On here, end to end. Auth.spec, yeah, it is .spec, so it's whatever it is. That's what we'll do, auth.spec.xi.ts. I'm a real boy, I swear, I know how to do this. Alright, describe. The auth. Well, let's see, let's explore a little bit before we write this, but it's definitely going to be one of these, right? We're going to do something, and we're going to expect it to do something. I'm not getting a lot of guidance. I think I've been spoiled by Cursor. Kind of holding my hand. I'm like, can you tell me how to write this? Okay. Let's go in here. So let's say what we're wanting to do, and we're gonna have to really eat up some real estate here too. So maybe we'll squish this down. I want to interact. We'll do sign up, right? So we'll say sign. The authentication feature. We're gonna do. So I lied. We're gonna have a nested describe block. Yeah, not a lot of guidance. Feels still very like bread and butter old school in the sense like you're just gonna write the code, bro. You got no assistance. Not even like suggestions. I thought I was gonna suggest things to me, but again, I've been spoiled. Describe. So we're gonna say sign up modal. Right. Valid info to sign up. Sure. Yeah, I mean, am I supposed to hit hotkeys to get, so let's say we know nothing, we want to interact with this bad boy. How do we is it this guy here? Okay. Sign up. Interesting. Okay. That's our sign up. So how do we add element to code? Yeah, try that. What happened? Okay, cool beans. Okay, we're gonna click it. Why is it mad? Typo in word sign in. Okay, and we've got our little. If we click on that, what we got? Or sign. Supposed to be sign up. That says sign in. Are we sure about this? Okay, we're gonna go with it. We're gonna go with what it says. So I'm assuming that gets clicked. The modal opens up. Boom. We're gonna want to. So now we're already gonna want Faker at this point. So structure is that. Again, I'm trying to assume like I'm not using command line. Python packages. We're definitely not using Python packages. The structure, what is that? Kind of brings up the structure. Interesting. How would I, again, let's say I don't know how to use the command line. I don't know how to stall stuff from npm. How do I deal with dependencies? I think I'm just gonna have to do it the way I would do it, but I'm surprised it doesn't have some way that I can tell to deal with dependencies. I have to do it myself, which I'm used to. But I'm just missing it. Sorry, my camera is probably blocking. npm, let's try that. No scripts found. How do I choose? No, I don't need to choose a package. No. think I just gotta go to the terminal. And but can I get the terminal from here? You can use this menu to enable the beta version of the new terminal with command completion, enhanced history, and visual blocks for each command output. Yeah, let's do it. Yeah, let's do the new fancy terminal. I'm down. Okay, so we're gonna want to do oh, there's a little bit of lag there. Faker.js. None of those. Well, so far, whoops, sorry to peek my mic. So far, not blown away. I'm still having to go do this. Guide. It's Faker-JS. Okay. And it's not showing up there. Interesting. Right. Yeah. Guess I could do the @ Oh, fun. Invalid tag name. Faker.js tags may not have characters. Okay. Is that not how I do it? npm install. Oh, the doy / faker. Save dev. Okay, I'm sorry, I'm dumb. And we want to import faker, which I expect to get. No help here. I'll just put in Faker.js. Right, as import faker from. Again, surprised I'm not getting any assistance. It's not even trying to guess what I'm doing. Well, I'm gonna use it. Okay. I've been spoiled. I've been spoiled. I need to be, because we're gonna want to generate random stuff and then validate it. So, yep, I want to interact with that thingy. How do I interact with this? So far, I feel like I got better selectors from Cursor and from like Cypress, but we're gonna use theirs. We're gonna use theirs. Could be wrong. We'll go back. We'll compare our code. We'll do faker. Is it internet and email? I believe so. No option. Okay. Whoops. Habit. Want this one. We're gonna use their tool. Is it creating that extra space? I know I'm being like really. Password. Then we want to click that sign up button. Right. Right. Yeah, I think it is creating the extra space. I don't know why it bothers me because I have to go and delete the space. Kind of annoys me a little bit. But. Okay, and then after we do that, we're going to want to assert that we succeeded, right? It's really mad about that sign in. And I'm curious to see. I can't remember. I already forgot what my code looks like. So then, yeah, we're going to want to sign up. So we'll want to put something here. And we'll do a really awesome, amazing password. Then we want to grab, how would we validate? How do we know we're signed up? It seems like this is actually taking up a lot more CPU and VRAM than I'm used to. I feel like my computer is a little more Like my fan, it seems like my fan's kicking on. I think VS Code, I think this is using it more than like VS Code or Cursor, but maybe it's just, maybe I'm just noticing my fan a little more. I don't know. This is really suspect. Sussy. Okay. Now, yeah, I didn't see, I swear there was like a pop-up. Is their browser not displaying the pop-up? Is it enable pop-up windows? Yeah, I want pop-ups, bro. So this is kind of where we're at. Let's see if this will even run. And how would we say if we want to edit our config? This is where it's a little weird to me because again, I'm used to just firing npx Cypress open. It's still yelling at me about test. How would we give it Cypress options? Like, what if we want a head on it? Usually I thought, like, I don't know what command it's running. That's what's weird to me, being new to these run configurations. I feel like such a noob. Okay, yeah, I don't know. I guess it's just gonna run headless. Okay. What, run our test? It's weird that it opens this up every time too. I feel like I want to click run, I want to go. Yeah, continue anyways. You claim my file's jacked. And it keeps showing this weird error. Couldn't find tsconfig.json. Oh, it's got, I've got a tsconfig.json. This is really, Okay, our test failed. Expected to find element sign in to, but never found it. Okay, so out of curiosity, let's do a side-by-side. We're gonna open up my sign-in test because I'd like to open up the existing one. I want to see how it acts, but for now, let's just go into developer. We're gonna go into, where is it? Swagler, it's not Swagler. Go in here. We'll open up our current auth. Sure, we'll just open up a text editor. I want to compare the two. So let's take a little peek-see here. Obviously, there were some things that I did later, but when it comes to interesting that it didn't use the IDs, and it failed to interact with that element where my Cypress tester in here did. Pretty much all, I hand wrote these selectors. Looks like these down here are a little closer. I think Cursor generated this code, and then this code up here I wrote. So I used the IDs. Cursor generated these. And then I wrote the weights, and I think I wrote some of this stuff. This is definitely more my style over here. But it's interesting that it failed. It failed to interact. Because this is the selector I wrote. Pretty sure using Cypress as a helper. And then these are the ones that Cursor wrote, if I remember. Yeah, like you can tell I wrote this one. And then Cursor kind of wrote some of this. Except for, oh gosh, this was such a pain in the butt. I want to see, because it's button on click register. That might actually be a better selector option, possibly, than this one. If that works, that'd be really interesting if it does. Because I had to use kind of a nasty, I had to like grab the sign-in modal first. But it's using the same, other than that first click, it's using the same ones. It's kind of using the same that I believe again, Cursor generated these. You can kind of tell the difference between the ones I wrote and the ones that Cursor wrote. But we're not able, so let's give it one last chance. Let's say we're still trying to do this. We don't know that there's a better selector. We're taking the tool for what it says. We're going to try to click on that one again. Do we get any other options? Let's look at the variant. See if we see... How do I see those? Oh, okay, be smart. Okay, that's closer to the one that I wrote. And then we've got this one, which is pretty bad. I'm curious to see what, like, the XPath. Lots. Oh boy. Yeah, we don't want to use XPath. We can help it. You always want to prefer CSS if you can. So this one's closer to what I did in my other tests. So it's interesting to see that their, what was this called again? We looked it up. Their browser evaluator, locator evaluator, gave us different values than, say, Cypress's. And it's interesting. Let me get a drink here and not slurping the mic. There we go. So we can inject this one and see if this one works better. Again, we're gonna kind of, how would I fix this? Would I go like this? Grab the variant. Let's say I want the variant. I want to inject it. That's kind of not the end of the world, but not great. Oh gosh, what am I doing? I feel dumb. Where's save? Is it auto saving? Is it one of those? That's probably better. It's weird to me. And it's weird to not have Cypress open. Okay, let's try it again. I really don't like that it opens that up. Can we just, I think it's because for them my config's broken. What is all this stuff? Could not find TS config. Brah. Brah. That was not working either. Oh boy. You know what? I'm not smart. We're never going to the page. Oh man, we're not even going to the page. Oh boy. Oh boy, oh boy. Yeah, we want to do a site.visit. Okay. Not smart. Oh gosh, that's gonna get me. What was this? This is the demo Blaze, right? Blaze demo? Demo Blaze? Blaze demo? Demo Blaze? Anyone? Where were we? There we go. What? What is going on there? You gotta be smart, and I'm not smart, apparently. Okay. Let's try that. Oh, yeah, it's, ah man, that must be like a JetBrains thing. It's weird to, it makes it look cleaner. It's just strange, like the hamburger menu. They're hiding it behind. I'm not a big fan of how the run config seems to be designed, where it's like you have to have a test file. It might be something, is there something in my config? I don't know, I wish there's a little more guidance here. As someone that doesn't generally work with run file configurations, I just go to the term and just run my test. I'm trying to use the tool as it is. We'll hit run here. Having to click to this, not great. And then seeing that driver error, get driver name by index. Is that in some before method? What is that? This is pretty clunky, man. And then this DevTools error again. I'm guessing that DevTools error is from this browser on the side. That's just clunky and weird. Okay, I feel like this is enough kind of toying. We built this project from scratch. Kind of cool. Let's open our existing one and kind of see how it responds. Oh boy. Really? We're gonna have to go this deep? Oh, that's gonna be fun. Oh, right user. Local? right? And then, wow, it doesn't, has a weird, hold on. We'll try to do it this way. That was really odd. Yeah, we want this one. It doesn't give us the option. Poop. Can we copy the path? Okay, we'll get the path for it. Let's see if we can copy this path. I'm having some problems. I just want to copy this path. No, that's not what I want to do. I want to copy the path. Because I'm going to have to... No, it's none of the... Ah! Why is it like this? It's none of these things. I just literally want to copy this path. We'll go up this level and we'll copy. Yeah. Goodness gracious. It's painful. I think it's just painful in my own fault. Okay, we've got this path. Not where we want to go. No. Yes. Trust an open project. Yes. Trust it. This window. Don't ask again. See what it does. Cool. Open up the README. One thing I'm noticing, unless have I just not done a git ignore? I don't think I've put these in source. That's my fault. Electrolytes and coffee. Okay, so we've got. We don't ever run configuration. Don't ever run configuration. Okay, there we go. And interesting. Do I need to open it? I wanted to see what the web inspector was going to do. Probably need to open the page. Is that what I need to do? Yeah, it likes my selectors. Highlighting looks nice. Can I click one of these and just run them? What happens if I do that? Yeah, go for it. What happened? We get that DevTools error. Yes, config paths will be skipped. Driver name equals null. Yeah, not sure what's going on there. Yeah, I'm not really a big fan of that DevTools error. I don't know what's going on there. But, I mean, generally, can it create a run config, right? We could save this. I want to see, so it does point to our spec. It's less cranky with us. So that's kind of nice if you don't know how to set these up like I didn't, and I was stumbling around and fumbling around with it. It'll generate it if you click run. Got the nice little checkbox here. That shows that it passed the last time we ran it. That's always nice. Yeah, what if we did want to save this? Save the config. Now it's there forever. Forever and forever. We probably wouldn't want to name it this. Oh. Try something like that. Or just auth test. Auth UI test. Now if I hit that play button, because it's happy with my config, it ran it. I still get this nasty looking DevTools. It feels like it's taking a long time to stand it up, especially since it's headless. I don't know if that's part of the IDE. So I've seen like no guidance at all so far. This just feels like an expensive VS Code with a built-in web inspector from my perspective so far. So I think this is where I'm gonna stop things for the day. I need to get back to a day job. But let's kind of go back to their page and talk about this. Because it was interesting, and I actually had a lot of fun kind of goofing around with it. Let's go back to this. So, if it's not Tester's Day, what you just saw costs $249 a year. Then, if you want AI assistance, you're going to pay another $200 a year. Let's say it's not a sale day. That's $449, I'm guessing before taxes, a year for this product that you just saw. What would be interesting to find out is, can you get that embedded browser or web inspector on VS Code? In fact, let's shut down. Let's shut this down because it's gonna be a hog. Let's exit this because it's gonna get mad. I'm already dragging. So we got the same project open now, right? Beautiful. So let's go to extensions. Does it have any type of Ethereum inspector? It's definitely not it. I'm just curious because, again, I'm trying to open in browser. This allows you to open the current file in your default browser application. No. This is more like preview and then viewing HTML files. But you don't have like an inspector. I'm just wondering if you can add something like this on. Let's go to Duck. Or we can also look Chromium. So this is a Java CEF. Maybe we put in CEF. Anything? CF API downloader. Probably not the same thing. Entropy. Chromium. Highlights Chromium. Okay. Link your local Chromium code path to remote sources now. Chromium development. Chromium IDE. So, I mean, that is a differentiator. It doesn't look like there's an easy, quick way to find this. I mean, they're not searching for the right thing, or... Oh, if I could spell. Hey, see? Well, well, well. How old is it, though? Not exactly a spring chicken. Not a lot of... Well, there's a couple contributors. Does VS Code come with an embedded browser? It's like their faster page, like comparing it. Forked from browser preview. Am I just a knucklehead? Can I search help? It'd be nice to just have a plugin. Open in browser, open in default browser. So is it only going to open an HTML file? And it's not like that tester focus thing where you need a browser on the side. What was browser preview? A real browser preview inside your editor that you can debug. Deprecation notice. The live preview, so that's the one they're suggesting. Host a local server. This seems like a little more for you to preview your web pages on. I kind of I don't want to go that far. I just I just want to have a browser. So, hold on. Am I supposed to... Let's try it. This opens up kind of nothing. Split editors. That's just a split editor. Go open editors. That's just going to allow me... Oh gosh, I've done it again. Close that one. Close this one. That's just going to give me more windows. How would we... Because like, for example, if you have like a readme file, like this one, you can go here and isn't it open preview? There we go. And you can see here, this is what I'm kind of hoping for, something that just sits like this in a tab and it's a browser. Kind of what I'm looking for. I just don't want to pay for Aqua because I definitely use it for commercial uses. I do client work, and so I'm just trying to help differentiate for someone that's on the fence about this. And I'm not super impressed. It could be that I don't use a lot of, or it could be that it's been a while since I've used JetBrains products, because again, they have that certain feel where I've used VS Code a lot and Visual Studio a lot. It could be that. This I was hoping for something. So source, it goes back. Yeah. Oh, and you know what? I didn't even notice that this is here. That's nice. Boom. I like that a lot. I like it. I don't think this is something by default. I know I'm fumbling around like a fool, but I don't feel like this is something that live preview. How much space does this take up? And I don't want to run a server. I just want to be able to open up web pages. Preview your yeah, I don't care about previewing HTML file. URL bar for address-based navigation. Maybe this is what we want. Am I gonna regret this? Let's do it. Let's do it. We can always uninstall it. We don't like it. I don't think this is technically what I want, but we'll see. It's still under development. Okay, so how do we now... Yeah. How do we run the extension? How do we get this to work? You have to have an HTML file to get it up and running? Something on any of those. How do I just open up the browser? What if I don't have an HTML file? Again, I'm not using this for its intended purpose. Which I've done. I haven't figured out how to just open it. I might have to uninstall it already. I don't know what I'm doing. How do I need to restart? I shouldn't have to restart. How do I just open it? How do I open the live preview? Help me. Chat Jippity, help. I have no idea how to get into this. If it stalled it, I'm a fool. There's gotta be a way. Baby's guide. Dummy here how do. I don't have, let's say I don't have an HTML file. Well, or I really don't want to dump. I'm just wondering if I create an HTML file, what will happen. I don't think there's a single HTML file in here. Yeah, I feel like I'm just fumbling around. So how do I open it? I installed it. How open? Oh, opened editors? No, okay. This doesn't look like what I need. I was trying to prove like, hey, you don't need that. Problem sports, output, debug. You're not giving me any of this jazz. So how would we just, what if we just want to open this? Like I was hoping I'd be able to have a tab with the browser in it. Preview the current page in browser. URL bar for address-based navigation. So how? But how? Is it just preview HTML files quickly, clicking the preview button in the top right corner of your editor, or using the context menu? Is this the context menu, I'm guessing? I feel like I'm dumb, like it's gonna be right there and I'm just missing it. I'm gonna watch this later and be like, it was there the whole time. Or do I need an HTML file? But you're gonna make me create one so I can delete one. Ew, it put an idea folder in here, yuck. Sure. I'm that desperate. Please. Yeah, we're gonna delete it later. Okay. Hey, so that's kind of cheesy, but what if we did, the demo blaze? Oh, okay, so yeah, this isn't gonna do what we want. This is not gonna do what we want. Uninstall. Okay, we created that index file for nothing. Well, that was a failed experiment. I wanted to see if I was able to give some sort of in IDE browser. I wonder if I do a little more searching, I'll be able to find something. I'm just, again, I curiously want to see if we can do a comparison in regards to the fact that the expectation here is you would pay around $250 for Aqua a year, and then if you wanted AI assistance, you'd pay another $200. Let's look at Cursor really quick. Oh, I said I was done. I'm very hungry. I need to go eat something. Let's go to Cursor. So Cursor Hobby, which is the one I'm using, is free. It's comes with a Pro 2-week trial, which I don't know if I've been doing Pro. 2,000 completions, 50 slow premium requests, 200 Cursor small uses. It was really easy to get started with it too. So you can spend $20 a month in comparison here, everything in hobby. So 12 months in a year, 12 times, that's like $240. That's like $240. So we're gonna make a comparison here. We're kind of in that same ballpark, right? And they do a monthly thing, understandably. You do yearly, you save $48. That's if this wasn't on sale, you're actually getting Cursor cheaper. You're getting it for like $16 a month. So you're getting 10 Claude Opus uses per day. So you're also additionally getting Claude. You're additionally getting Claude here. I feel, personally, in my opinion, this is a better value as someone who's used Cursor, the free version, and been pleasantly surprised. Because it's just, again, to me, it seems like it's VS Code with some help. compared to you're paying them for the embedded browser, at least for my usage, and the easy project setup. But that's the difference between two npm commands where you want to, in my case, it was like install TypeScript. I didn't get any guidance when setting up the run files. Hoping for a little more guidance there for somebody that doesn't use them. But if I was completely brand new, I am very JetBrains rusty, but I just don't ever have the use of run files. So, my opinion, better bang for your buck here. Pro is very tempting. I mean, 100, basically $200 for all that help and guidance, and 10 cloud open, fast premium requests, unlimited completions. And I am curious, is this 2,000 completions per month total? What happens here? What happens? Is that a year? You just eventually run out of completions? Sorry. But if you just literally handed me the money for Aqua, I would feel a little guilty. Because again, to get close to that, you're going to have to also buy the AI assistant. So now you're looking at $449 a year. It says $44.90. So is that is this an addition? I don't know. This is my opinion. I think if you had the money burning a hole in your pocket, you're gonna be, as an automation engineer in SDET, you're gonna be a lot happier with this. For now, that's what I'm gonna say. Buy Cursor for a year, probably gonna be a lot happier. You're basically getting VS Code on steroids. Though, really quick, there was, I swear, Void, that's what it is. This is interesting, and in fact, I want to bookmark this. I'm gonna drop it into chat for those in the future. That is something we'll probably all want to stay up to date with here. I'm not saving bookmarks in my Brave browser because I don't normally use Firefox. I'm gonna save this in my dev tools. Yeah, Void looks really interesting. Curious as to why they've decided to go open source. But Void is an open source AI code editor, which I should do. We should toy around with this as well and compare it to the Cursor from an SDET standpoint. I bounce my camera real quick. I'm gonna get off here so I can eat something. I'm not eating all day. There we go. Hopefully that helps. It's an open source AI code editor, but developers use Cursor style, careful there, Cursor style AI features without sacrificing privacy. Bold claim. So Andrew Perilous is the founder. Matthew, I'm guessing they're brothers, is the founder as well. He's the CTO. I guess they're bros. They studied physics. They both studied at Cornell. Open source Cursor alternative is open source, offers AI features while allowing you to host your own AI model locally and keep your data private. Okay, so you've got to run your, looks like you got to probably run your models yourself. This is running on VS Code. Yeah, wait, are they identical twins? Is they twins? These guys must be twins. Look, it's the Mario twins. One's definitely happier than the other. Like, brother on the right, definitely happier. Brother on the left, like, yeah, okay. I'm happy. Not that happy. Combinator. The problem, the leading AI IDE is closed source. Cursor is closed source. Closed source AI editor means you need to send your private data through Cursor's backend every time you use it. leads to obvious privacy concerns. Feels expensive for developers. Within reason. I mean, it means one individual has full control over powerful AI model. We think the future of AI should be open. You should be able to use whatever model you like, not be locked into using a privatized model, one that's built to collect your data. The solution? Open source. Okay, yeah, we're gonna have to toy around with this one of these days. The solution, create an open source cursor alternative. This way, you can choose to self-host or communicate directly with any model you like, anywhere you like. There are lots of benefits to open sourcing besides privacy too. On Void, you can access community-made AI features beyond the ones that Cursor offers. Wow. And gain full access to your prompt. We're building a lot. Here are the features we're most excited about. File system awareness. Void can answer questions about your entire code base. It builds an index of all your files and uses it automatically so you don't manually select relevant files. View and edit underlying prompts. Void lets you open up the hood and view and edit every single prompt in your chat history. This is really important. You want to understand how the LLM got its answer, and it's lacking in most closed source tools. Interesting. Interessante. Stay hydrated, folks. Fast edits across thousands of lines. Even if your file is thousands of lines long, I hope not. Void applies changes almost instantly. We prompt the AI to make changes the way a human would instead of rewriting the whole file. I didn't know that it rewrote the whole file. Again, apologies. This electrolyte. Check out the Void editor and star us on GitHub. Interested in helping us build? Join our Discord and shoot us an email. I might join their Discord. I might. We rely on contributions, even small ones. We'll help you get up and running as a contributor. Please share this post. Help spread the word that we're building an open source cursor alternative. Let's see. The open source AI code editor. Void is an open source. Yeah, we know this. We know these things. Star on GitHub, get access. It looked from the picture that it's just like a plugin or an add-on. What happens if I click get access? We'll notify you when you're on the wait list. Sure, let's do it. Submit. Success. Should we join their Discord? Let's go. Join the Void. We're joining the Void. Let's see here. Let's see. Join the Void. Yes, I am a Detroit Lions fan. This is intense. Today. How long have these folks been up? One new message. Wave to say hi. Oh boy. Man, they are bold. This is bold move, Cotton. Is this the man himself? They're having a nice discussion. Contributing. Cool beans. And Matthew is the king. He's the owner. Matthew is one of the Super Mario twins, right? Is he one of the Super Mario twins? How do we get back? Hey Matthew, are you one of the guys? With Matthew and yes, he is one of the Super Mario twins. For those that don't know, I think there's some cussing. This is probably the last thing we'll do. Let's get ourselves really in trouble. Yeah, Super Mario. This is ancient. This is ancient internet lore. Is this like the full thing? We've got like a 4-minute version. Yeah, Group X. Not safe for work. Just so y'all know.
Hey, Splay!
Shiggity shiggity schwab.
Guess what, idiot? What you did today? Hey, I got a new Super 88 system.
You did not.
Swear to God, I got it at Chunky's for $2.
Oh, yeah? Let me see it. Wow. That's
Yeah,
pretty-
you like that, idiot.
I do.
I got it. You don't. Shut up.
God damn.
Hey, guess what?
What?
It has new game.
What game?
I want to play it. It is called Mario Twins. They look the same.
Wow.
I'm sorry, this is so immature.
Good God.
I'm
They
ready.
look so goddamn like the same person. I would say to them, you want ice cream cone? Both of them say yes. How
That-
in the hell?
They are twins.
What
that's
the hell?
why.
Hey, let's play it. Ready?
All right.
Do it.
There goes.
Yeah, sorry. That's unfortunately the reference that was in my brain when I saw the Matthew and Andrew. I'm sure they're great guys. This is really interesting. I'll definitely try to stay on top of this. Definitely as soon as I get access, I'm going to powered by VS Code. It's a fork. So they're going the same approach there where they're going to fork VS Code, which is, I think is pretty smart. If I didn't even know, I wasn't aware that VS Code was public repo. Good on Microsoft that people are able to fork it and do things like this with it. But this is interesting. This will be interesting to kind of stay on top of and stay aware of. But I need to go eat some food. I need to get back to my day job. I've offended everyone with the Mario Tweens. It's one of those old internet things like E-Bomb's World that just gets stuck in your brain if you're an old boomer like me. But as I've said before, I'm Boomer Tester. This was my demo of the Aqua IDE by JetBrains. I hope it was interesting and informative. My 2 cents. I don't think it's there yet. I feel like you're paying a lot of money just to have an integrated browser when you can just switch to your browser and go back. Yeah, and if you're doing Cypress and you're doing Playwright, you're going to have those things built into the framework when you run the test runners. So this is probably, again, the Selenium test automation person. It's their dream. Not their dream. It's just going to be very useful to them. If you can get your company, if you're writing Selenium and you can get your company to pay for that, or you're already like a JetBrains company, you're writing Java, I would say go for it. But if you're writing Cypress, you're writing Playwright, I don't see as much value in it, honestly, compared to just VS Code. Or do the free version of Cursor and wait till it runs out, or try out Void when you're able to get your hands on Void. But I appreciate all the lurkers. I appreciate you're watching this later on YouTube. Click that like button. You click subscribe so you know when I go live or when I post new videos. I am my own editor right now, so I'm trying to furiously edit videos on top of my day job and on top of streaming and everything else, and having other responsibilities like a family. So be patient with me, but I would appreciate it. If this is something that is enjoyable to you, please share. Share it online, share it on X, Facebook, Instagram, wherever you want to put it. I think eventually I'll probably have like a TikTok and a Instagram. Unfortunately, it's just part of creating content. But as far as I know, I'm the only automation engineer I've seen on Twitch. I would love there to be more and see what they're doing and get ideas. But as far as I know, I'm the only one doing it right now. Lots of great software engineers and game devs. I do want to do game dev, but yeah, time to go eat. I'll try to be, tomorrow's Wednesday, I'll try to be back online tomorrow. One of these days, if I can get some decent, if there's any traction with the channel or the YouTube channel or anything, I'll probably start setting an actual schedule. It'd be better for me as well to have a real schedule. But if you lurked, if you're watching this later, I appreciate you. And always feel free to hit me up on X with questions, or whispers on Twitch, or drop a message on the YouTube video, whatever is convenient for you if you have questions. I have a Discord, not fully public yet, but come find me on LinkedIn. I'm pretty public about who I am. I'm currently running my own consulting firm for testing and test automation. But no, I appreciate anyone out there who's decided to actually check things out, and hope you have a great rest of your day. Thanks.